Alright, final leg. We are here to talk about the Monaco Diamond League that just went down. Of course, this meet is one of the highlights of the Diamond League schedule every single year. Some of the top performances this year did not disappoint. We're going to jump right into things. First off, we had Sifan Hassan from the Netherlands competing in that women's mile. She absolutely dominated the mile from start all the way to finish. She ran away with the world record in 4 minutes, 12.33 seconds. Huge mark from her. Again, that's the world record. She broke the world record by just about 0.2 of a second. She really surprised herself in the rest of the field, almost 30-40 meters away from the rest of the field. She is showing that she is probably one of the most dominant middle distance runners that we have in the world right now, probably at the top of both the 1500 meters, probably the 5K as well. So we're going to see her going likely for double gold when we get to Doha. We're going to see once she confirms what she's going to do, but Sifan Hassan really separating herself not only from the field right now, but from competition in the world and in the history books. So Sifan Hassan in that women's mile. All right, now in the men's 800 meters, we had Nigel Amos. He'd been really consistent all year. This time he managed to come away with the win as well in 1:41.83. That's not only a world-leading performance, that's actually the fastest time that we've seen since 2012 when we had David Rudisha actually win the Olympics and pull the entire field to personal best. So huge performance from him. This makes him only the third person in history to go 141 twice in their career, only behind Wilson Kipketer and as well as David Rudisha. So this puts him in some really strong territory. The men's 800 meters has been kind of up and down all season, but this is showing that Amos is going to be setting himself apart from the rest of the field. So when we get to Doha, keep a lookout for Nigel Amos. Alright, in the men's pole vault, we had Pitor Lisek. He managed to jump even higher than he previously did. We saw in Lausanne when he jumped 6:01 for a national record. This time he improved that Polish national record to 6:02 meters, beating out a very competitive field. That moves him to number 10 all time in the history of the pole vault outdoors, beating out a lot of guys. We still have a lot of the top 10 competitors all time. We have Renaud Lavillenie still competing, of course Armand Duplantis, we have Sam Kendricks, we have Morganov from Russia. So a lot of guys are going to be contending for a spot on the podium, but Lisek is really separating himself for the field when we get to Doha later on this year. Now in the women's 400 meter hurdles, we had McLaughlin essentially running by herself. She managed to run a world-leading performance of 53.32 seconds. That's the second fastest time that she's ever run in her career, only behind that 52.75 from last year. So we're going to see a lot more from her. Of course, she's going to have competition in Shamir Little, Dalilah Muhammad, Corey Carter, who is in this race, is actually the world champion, so she has a bye to Doha. But McLaughlin is living up to the hype that she had the past couple years, and she's showing that she is going to be one of the front runners for a gold medal in Doha. So keep a lookout for McLaughlin. Now in the women's 200 meters, we had Shanunae Miller-Uibo dropping down from her 400. Remember, she likely can't double at Doha because the schedule conflicts with the 400 and the 200, but she showed her dominance. She ran 22.09 seconds to take the win over Elaine Thompson, Daphne Schippers, and a lot of other ladies in that field. So Shanunae Miller-Uibo is setting herself up for a really competitive year. She's going to be dropping really fast times later on in the 400 as well. We're likely going to see her get down into that 48 mid-range in the 400, and hopefully, likely not in Doha because of that schedule, but we'll possibly see her improve her personal best in the 200. But keep a lookout for Shanunae Miller-Uibo. Now in the women's 800 meters, we've been seeing the women kind of in a lull if Semenya is not in the race, but this race did not disappoint. Ajee Wilson managed to come away with the win in a season's best of 1:57.73. That's actually the fastest time in the world behind the races that Semenya has. So this is showing that she doesn't need to be pulled by Semenya, and she can really start to drop some fast times. She was pushed to the line by Natoya Gould of Jamaica, so she's going to have some competition there. Again, we're not really sure if Semenya is going to be able to compete in Doha, but Wilson is showing that, again, she will not likely need her, and she might be one of the front runners for that gold medal in Doha if Semenya is not in that race. Now in the men's triple jump, we've been seeing some great competition between Christian Taylor, Will Clay, and Pedro Pablo Picardo from the past couple years. Christian Taylor showed why he's a double Olympic champion. He managed to take the win in 17.82 meters. That's a season's best, a meet record for him as well. He's showing that he's going to be going for that title again, defending his title in Doha. Of course, he's going to have a lot of competition from Will Clay, who just jumped 18.14 meters not too long ago. And of course, we never know what Pichardo is going to be able to do. So keep a lookout for the men's triple jump later on this year. Now in the men's 100 meters, we had Justin Gatlin going up against Mike Rogers and of course Noah Lyles in that race. We also had Divine Oduduru, but Justin Gatlin, the world champion from 2017, he managed to come away with the win, just edging it over Lyles in 9.91 seconds, showing that he's very consistent, and he's essentially timing his season to perfection. He's going to have USAs later on this year and then get to Doha, but he has the bye, so he doesn't really have to worry about USAs. Noah Lyles, he's still contemplating if he's going to be going for that double. He essentially already has that 200 meters locked locked in, but the 100 meters he's still contemplating because there's a short schedule at the USA Trials. But keep a lookout for Justin Gatlin, Noah Lyles, and of course Christian Coleman in that 100 meters. We're going to see a lot more from them later on this year. All right, so those are just some of the highlights from the Monaco Diamond League. Of course, there were some other performances. We had Yulimar Rojas in the triple jump, Lisek in the high jump. We had Kendra Harrison in the 100-meter hurdles. So some great performances across the board. We're going to have the London Diamond League going down next week in the 2-day meet that they usually have. Some great performances there as well. Keep a lookout for that. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys like the video and leave a comment on your favorite performance from the meet this weekend. And we'll be back again very soon. Thanks.